the way I see it is Arteta's blown up the building, tried to build the building with the same bricks. Ain't gonna happen. Start giving me his own players. I think he'd do well. I still fancy us for a trophy. I still think we'll win that Europa League. We'll come sixth at best in the league, but I think we're still gonna get in Europe through the Europa League, and I think we're gonna win that League Cup as well. And I don't care whether we come in the league as long as we do that. Hold me to ransom if you don't have them, but that's what I fancy, and you know I'm normally quite right.
Oh, dearie me. Look at that. He's a voice of a Gooner Nation. I hear you, brother. I couldn't put it any better myself. That's exactly how I'm feeling right now. But alas, welcome to the Arsenal Asylum podcast. I'm your host this evening, IO1886, aka Head Banter in Charge. And I really don't even know why I'm sounding all upbeat. I guess this is what the media lovies do, but you know what I'm talking about. We are nursing quite a defeat. But without further ado, I should at least introduce my beloved guests for this episode of the Arsenal Asylum podcast. So on my virtual left, I have the man, the legend that is, the naughtiest that ever will be, man like Nigel.
What's up? I would say I'm glad to be here, but I definitely wish it was under better circumstances, brother.
I don't want to be here, brother. I don't want to be.
Yeah, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it all the way 100. We don't want to be here right now.
I want to be in bed with my missus, but alas, we love the club. We have to impart our thoughts. And on my virtual left, did I already say left or right? Anyway.
Yeah. You're right.
On my virtual right is the man. I can't bring myself to say it. I've got to be honest with you. You know, I know him as Big Steph.
I think he won't just roll off the tongue quite just yet, nah?
Nah. I think his Japanese Instagram followers, they call him this name. You're more than welcome to, listeners, if you want to, but not on your Nelly. It is the so-called football MESSIAH. How are you, sir?
The football messiah is great. That's how you say it, IO. Yeah? Football messiah.
There's a plonker alert starting to... I feel it bubbling up from deep down.
No, please don't take your aggro out on me, man. It's the Spurs that you need to take out on me.
This is true. This is true, bruv. Those industrial tools in N17, bruv. Oh my goodness. But you know what? I want us to start on a good note, gents. So actually, let's start with Europa tonight. You know, we got about 35, 40 odd minutes. So let's start on a positive note. So our campaign in Europa, lads, 5 wins, doing the business, Rapid Vienna on Thursday. Talk to me, Nige. What did you think about that match?
Yeah, we looked good. We looked. I think probably the best game we've looked since the opening win against Fulham. Lots of slick interchanging, or won't quite say peacocking, but you know the tails were definitely up. The boys were playing with confidence. But you know, and I'm not just saying this because of the result today, but it's easier to do that stuff when you're afforded the time and space to do that stuff. I imagine that's not dissimilar to what our training games look like. I imagine it looks really effective, quite flowing, almost quite pleasing on the eye, and you almost start to buy. You do buy into the attraction because you know we can only beat who's in front of you, which we did convincingly. Lovely strike from Laka. That swerve on the ball was ferocious.
10 minutes in, early doors.
Yeah. And just good to get ESR to get on the scorebooks. I think that will do wonders for one of the young academy boys' confidence. So, yeah, man. Look, we're doing the business in Europa. You can only beat who's in front of you. However, I say that with the caveat is I would probably bet good money that our training games are probably more intense than the Europa games that we're playing at the moment. And I say that with the greatest respect to Rapid Vienna.
You crack me up, Nige. So basically, with the greatest respect to Rapid Vienna, you man are training fodder. Yeah. Steph, do you agree with that? Do you share those sentiments?
100% agree with it. Again, like Nigel said, the Europa games, afforded a lot more time, space. It's literally playing like Europa. It's literally European football. It's like how to play in Spain, how to play in Italy, France, and Germany. But the only place that don't play like that is England. So yeah, like even if Arsenal got into the Champions League, I don't think we'd be terrorized as bad as we are in the Prem because we're afforded more time to play.
Strongly disagree with that. So
yeah, go for it.
Maybe.
Nige, go for it. Go on. Why, mate?
So look, football for me is a kind of, not to go off on a tangent here. It's all about diminishing returns. The higher level you go up, is a quick left back in Europa League may not be that quick of a left back in the Premier League, and he probably won't be that quick of a left back in the Champions League because everyone's just that much quicker, everyone's that much stronger. So I think when you're playing at the highest level of football, which I ultimately think Champions League is, yes, the intensity in terms of, I get what you're saying, is probably not as transitional as Premier League in terms of back and forth. But it is the highest level of football. Your touch, your technique, your awareness, your space. If you, yes, you're not running 13 kilometers up and down like I won't say a headless chicken, but the intensity of the Premier League, but everything else is amplified by 10, which kind of makes up for that lack of pace. I think it would be quite worrying what teams like well, we've all seen what Brian have done to us. It's frightening. I don't even want to think about what they do to us in their current form, and us in our current form right now. Just my 2 pence on that.
No, fair enough. Sorry, go on, Steph.
I agree with what you're saying, but like when I watch Luke Shaw in the Champions League compared to when I watch him in the Prem, he's two different players.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, I hear you. I hear you.
You know what I mean? Like he looks more assured in the Champions League than he does in the Prem. So yeah, that's why I say I'm not saying that we'd be great in there. I just feel we would look better.
Well, it definitely does feel like there's two different Arsenal men's first teams. If you look at how we play in Europa, and again, we put the caveat of the quality of opposition, but then again, are the teams that much better in the Premier League, the lower teams that we seem to struggle against? But if you look at how we play, we certainly play with more poise. We play a more assertive football, and I don't know if that's just a mental hold up because we know it's Europa, we've had a good run of results, these teams are not anything we should be fearful of compared to the Premier League where all and sundry, the Villa came and started playing us off our own football pitch a couple of weeks back. Wolves as well bossed it. And then sadly, today as well. But, just before we even talk about today's sad situation, North London derby, I'm getting emotional here. Before we even get into the mix on that, I got to pick your brains about a certain Mr. Martin Keown. I think he referred to Lacazette's new kind of role now as in the hole deep line midfielder type guy. He said he was almost Bergkamp-esque. Now that made me belly laugh when I actually read that. But what do you think, Steph? Bergkamp-esque?
See, with this, I feel people are getting caught up with who he's comparing him to.
Yes, standard.
Yeah.
rather than the role that he's actually comparing, not the ability. He's talking about the role.
But
So
can you
people,
not see how inflammatory such a comment is for any
it's only,
gooner?
yeah, but it's only inflammatory if you're taking it literally. I don't think he's talking literally. He's talking in terms of like what he's doing. He's a playmaker, yet he comes into the box and he gets goals, and that's what
Okay,
lacking.
sorry, Steph. Okay, cool. I
Yeah,
think I made the perfect point that stuck out to me. I didn't even say to you in the actual Asylum group. Why not just say he's a number 10? Like, why make the Bergkamp comparison?
because he's
Like,
not a
why?
number 10. Because
Huh?
a number 10 is Ozil. A number 10 is like
Okay, cool.
Ozil.
Right, cool. You want
Eriksen. Two different. That's not a number
Okay,
10.
cool. Okay, if whatever correct term, if you want to give him AMF, CMF, whatever abbreviation, acronym, voodoo, hieroglyphs you want to give this guy, why put the pressure of saying Bergkamp on him?
He's not putting no. See what I'm saying? He's not
But
putting the
he is
pressure.
but by directly saying Bergkamp-esque,
Yeah,
you then draw comparisons to Bergkamp. No,
because of the role that he's taking up. It's like someone saying, it's like when not Xhaka, sorry, Wilshere came on the scene and people were saying they were likening to the role that he was doing was like Iniesta. Now, would I say that's too much pressure on him? No, all they're doing is just saying that how he's playing is what he's playing like in terms of his style is like that. And that's what Lacazette. That's what
I think with that, I think as far fetched as it sounds now, there was probably once upon a time where maybe people saw Jack's trajectory on the same path as an Iniesta. So maybe at the time that comparison doesn't sound outlandish. Like there's no reality where Lacazette is like a fraction of the player Bergkamp is.
Pure mischief making.
Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, like you said, that he's
yeah,
not comparing ability. But I think
yeah.
by even mentioning the name, you're directly drawing, you're directly you're directly makes or subconsciously or subconsciously you're directly making people think, okay, he's playing like Bergkamp. Whether he's as good as Bergkamp or not, people are going to draw that comparison, which is quite frankly to Lacazette a ridiculous comparison. I like.
It's naughty as you like. It's naughty as you like. I gotta be honest here. I mean, you know what? Keona's got form with that. He loves to, and I was saying it in the group if you remember, he's got a litany of these kind of comments where he knows he's just making mischief. He knows it, you know. So, well, it's got us chatting about it. So here we are. But moving swiftly on, lads, we have to get to the meat of this podcast, which is obviously the result a few hours ago. The North London derby, I'm feeling quite emotional. I got to keep it 100 with you boys, yeah? Let me tell you what went down. So, sitting in the living room, got a projector here, you know, like the big screen and whatnot, you know, the little small pleasures given COVID and whatever. So I've got the match on the big screen and the projector. My son is by the door. I'm like, son, come, North London derby, come and see how we boss this. No, I didn't really say that, but anyway, it sounds good for the story. But I said, son, come sit down with me. He goes, nah, Bahrain Grand Prix is on. I'm like, yeah, but it's North London derby, son. He's 8 years old. And he was like, no, we're gonna get banged. We're gonna get banged, Dad. And I was like, what? And anyway, he goes, watches the Grand Prix. We duly get banged, as we all know. And then afterwards, he pops his head in the door and he goes, yeah, I told you that team is trash. And I'm like, ah. And the worst thing of all is after he watched the Grand Prix, he actually sat in the other room and watched the Liverpool game. I couldn't even bring myself to watch it. And he was in there watching the Liverpool game. I don't even know what the result of the Liverpool game is. I was just cut up about the derby. So lads, look at what we're doing to our youth, to our young gooners. Like, talk to me about that. Talk to me about that. What did you think about it, Steph? Come on, hit me with it. What did you think?
But why? Where do I start, man? I think we've talked about it in the main group from during the week. But I feel like from the lineup and the formation, personally, I feel Arteta got it wrong. Like,
so we went with a 4-4-2, didn't we, for this?
No, I think it was more well, it was 4-3-3. I feel ish.
Okay, because I felt like the
Or
there was four in midfield: Willian, Saka, and
Yeah.
obviously Xhaka and Partey before Partey came off. So I
yeah, sorry, yeah, not 4-3-3. Sorry, I feel like he played like three at the back, so it was like 3-4-3.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Um, but yeah, I feel like he's that formation. It does for us. I feel that's like a one-off formation where you can do that on some occasions. We don't have the personnel for that formation on a long-term basis. Our wing backs or whoever plays there are not wing backs.
I think
So
Bellerin. I mean, Bellerin didn't have the greatest game. We know this foul throw situation is just
Oh,
diabolical. But come on, Nige. Bellerin, I mean, in terms of the general kind of role of a wing back, he seemed to get up a lot and get back, or is that just me? What did you think about
no,
Bellerin?
I think he look at and it's tough, man. It's tough. I think people see the game through so many different lenses. From my perspective, I don't feel there was enough end product to what he was doing today. But like you said, if you're asking what is a wingback supposed to do, he did his job fairly well in terms of getting up and down today. So I'm not gonna, and you know what? Before today, Bellerin's been in a decent spell of form, so not gonna throw him to the wolves over one game. There are definitely a lot higher targets in my scope at the moment, man. I think Steph and I always have a back and forth about Oba, and look, I'm a big Oba fan. I always talk about credit in the group. If you score 30 goals in a season for me, you're afforded a bit of credit, but when you look at it, it's
Two
December.
goals. Two goals.
We're halfway through. We're almost halfway through the season, or we're approaching halfway through the season point.
Mm.
I'm not sure his credit could get him a mobile phone right now, if I'm honest. And that's not me turning on Oba. That's just the reality of the facts. Like, yeah, I can live with 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 games. Strikers go through bad patches. What I'm not willing to put up with is you for signing a fat new contract and then you go missing. Whether it's your fault or not, I appreciate there's context and it's not all Oba's fault. He could do with a lot more service or the right type of service. Pinging 30-yard crosses, unless it's pinpoint accurate, isn't really his game. So yes, there's context around it, but at the end of the day, heavy as a head that wears the crown in it. We're paying you to do a job. So whether it's you grab it by the scruff of the neck or you make it happen yourself, yeah, man, we definitely need more from you all round.
This is music to your ears, isn't it, Steph? Like, you've been on his case for a minute. I will have to refer again to that conversation we had back in sort of late summer where you said you would sell Orba before Lacquer. This is stained and burned into my memory until my dying day. So this is all music to your ears, what Nigel just said, isn't it?
Before he goes on a victory lap, let me be clear: there's never an existence where I'd rather sell Oba before Lacquer. But it is what it is, right? No one's above criticism. No one's greater than the club, whether you're Oba or like I don't care. It just hasn't been up to par.
Go on, Steph. Fire away.
yeah,
Go on, mate.
the reason why it's music to my ears because I was saying like, oh, but yeah, he's a. Don't get me wrong, he's a great goal scorer, but in this team, we don't accommodate for him. So before we signed a big contract, I was happy to sell him and use the money to reinvest in the team better elsewhere. Because the team
To have Lacquer as our main striker, like, is that
Lacquer,
really what you wanted for us?
have Lacquer as a striker with a partner.
Like who?
Like what he has at the moment.
So again,
like what he has at the moment.
Well,
like I don't.
Someone that can play.
Sorry to jump in, Io. Like this, I don't. Not to turn this into a Lacquer Oba thing. Like like as hard as he works and as busy as he gets around, like he, as fortunate or unfortunate, he is a limited striker. Like we can only get so far with Laka being the focal, in my opinion, the focal point of our attack. We will get, if Auburn comes back into form, we'd get much further as a team, which is why I think I and most people, if you had to choose one, you take Oba. But sorry, go on.
Most people would take over because they see the returns. But what they don't tend to see is the other side, the intangibles of the game. And you get more, like I said, I've always said, you know me, Nigel, I've always said I prefer performances for me are bigger than goals, because performances, once your head is up and your confidence is up with your game going well, then goals will start flowing. Now, Ober's performances are they're way below average. So now you're seeing, but now he's not scoring. People are noticing more so what he actually can't do or what he doesn't do.
Well, it was woeful. It was woeful, lads.
It was disgusting.
And basically, we're talking about coming into the game, 2 goals in the last 7. I'm talking about as a team. He's only got 2 goals for the season, so 11. But certainly as a team, that's where we are. 1 win in 6. We just look devoid of attacking confidence and prowess as far as the league goes. I mean, when you think about the stats and you look at the stats, we had the lion's share of possession, shots on and off target. We did well on that front. Accurate passes, we did well on that front. I mean, the list is endless. You look at all the stats around the game, and we had a good game on paper, but then when you actually think about what you watched, I mean, there was chance from Lacazette, which was just painful. It just shows how devoid he is of confidence, that you would make a pass and you wouldn't just continue your run and connect with it and bang it in. Like if he had that kind of, I'm scoring this. Excuse me, this is me. He would have carried on his run. He didn't carry it on. Likewise with Aubameyang as well. Like the header that he missed and the one that went over. I mean, it just looks like the team just looks lost, attacking wise, man. It's painful. And then you look at Tottenham and they just do my nutting because they look so certy right now. They look certified. Song, Gunman, Kane, the partnership between those two. It's just, I don't even want to compliment it too much, but it's just, I'll just be an enemy of football if I didn't say them two right now look magical. I'm sorry.
Wow. And I think this is, and I know what you're going to say, Steph, but this is ultimately, I think you highlighted it, Ayo. On paper, like if you're looking at a footballing performance, we had a good, like we didn't, like if you take the emotion out of it and we didn't play badly. Like we didn't. It's not like we performed. We weren't up to scratch from a performance level in terms of passing, moving. We weren't penetrative enough. But it's not like we didn't have the ball or chances to do stuff with the ball. That's why I take goals over performances or like I don't care. Like Kane did nothing for those 2 minutes, but those 2 minutes that he did something was the most important 2 minutes in the whole 93 minutes that was played. That game.
Wait, bro. Do you see how much defending Kane was doing? How many crosses he was heading out? Nah, man. Like
that's cool. That's cool. But the most important thing, I'm telling you, the most important thing Kane did was put the ball in the back of the net. Facts.
In the second half, Spurs only had 1 shot. Second half.
I'm saying. This is what you're missing. Like Spurs, we didn't dominate possession. They gave it us.
Yeah, they sat behind the ball once they.
We didn't work hard for anything. Like even though we had possession, they knew we wouldn't do enough. We didn't have the players to do anything with it. We didn't have the players in front to make any runs. They were happy to just sit and wait. And all they needed to do was 2 counters, and they did that. Once they got that, they did their jobs individually.
This was bread and butter for someone like Jose Mourinho. Like, this was a bread and butter job. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
sucker
going to hit
punch.
them on the counter,
Yeah.
sucker punch. These mans are light work. And this, again, it speaks to the point where there's a gulf in tactical nous between Mikel and Jose. And I don't know, lads. It's just one of those things. We know he's a young manager. We know we need to give him time. But at some point, there's just too many of these constant kind of just tactical missteps. It's like he just keeps walking into these punches. And is it a case of he's telling them to do this, but the team doesn't listen, or the team's not good enough? Or is he just not ready at this level? I got Gunas telling me, like, this dude is not ready. I realize that now. It's just too big a job for him. And, you know, I'm sort of 50-50 here, lads, because I'm telling you, that kind of performance is soul destroying, man, you know?
Yeah, it is. But again, like I said, it was due to he messed up with the lineup. When he messed up with the lineup and the formation, he literally set himself up to lose. That's all.
So what
that's
would
all
you have done, Steph?
Like,
Messiah, talk to me.
So personally, I would have gone 4-1-2-1-2. So I would have played Partey as a defensive midfielder, and then I would have had El Nene and Ainsley in the middle in front of Partey to give him legs and to give him cover, because I knew Partey was carrying an injury. So I would have had Bellerin playing right back and Tierney obviously left back. I would have Willian playing in the hole. So I would it'd be a diamond shape kind of, but then it would give Bellerin the freedom and Tierney to go to, like, cause that's what Tierney used to do. Tierney when Tierney first came on the scene, he was up and down that left hand side, up and down, like whipping in crosses, like dangerous crosses, like he was today to some extent. But now he's having to play like the third centre back, which is kind of like hindering this game.
I agree with that, bro. I agree with that.
I mean? Like, it's like he killed Partey. Like, even actually Partey annoyed me, but from when he come off the pitch injured, I thought, what the heck are you doing?
That's sloppy. That is sloppy.
Right.
And I 100% agree with you. What Partey did, that was sloppy. You can't do that in the Premier League, man. You just left a massive gap there, and Lo Celso just pimped it. He took liberties there, and then obviously you pass it on to Son, and it's just, oh my goodness! Even that goal and Rob Holding, bruv, like it's Son, brother. It's Son. It's Son. Don't think because you're 25 yards out, man cannot bang it in. Come on.
Nah, but you know what it is though. Like, when Partey did that just shows me the level of respect he has for Arteta and Arsenal, because there's no way he's doing that at Atletico Madrid. Like, no chance. Is he just walking off the pitch because he's injured? Do you know what I mean? He would have sat down and obviously waited for the ref to pull up or the ball to go out of play, not walking off the pitch and looking at, you know what I mean? No way.
It was mindless. It was mindless. I was thinking about it after the game, and I was thinking, you know what? I don't even want to get into Partey, but that was wrong. That was wrong. What do you think, Nigel?
Wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong.
Yeah, it was just a madness, and that cost us that goal. And yeah, it was just one of those.
I think we've had many a discussion in the group. This Willian experiment needs to die. I'm done. My friend sent me.
I can't defend him no more. You see how I was going up against people in the group.
I hear you. I don't even want to get onto you about it, because I want better from him. Like, I don't want him to be complete shit. Like it. I'll be honest. I think Mod and I had a bit of a back and forth about just the level of that Willian is at, and I didn't ever think he was a great player, but I never thought he was a bad player. Like, right now, I think you are a bad Premier League player. Like, you refuse to take people on. You just offer nothing. My friend sent me a little caption saying, you know, William couldn't pose a threat in a picture with NWA, and I laughed, but it's true.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
It's true.
I think that's slightly harsh, only because today I credit Willian for at least getting balls in. You know, he was trying to whip balls in, and
Yeah,
guys were squandering those balls, man. They were squandering them, you know.
But don't you think like, even though we're putting pressure on Willian, it just highlights how little quality we have in this team or in this squad, in terms of like, because like I said, like me and Nigel said before, he's not doing nothing that he wasn't doing at Chelsea. He just wasn't getting highlighted enough because he had more quality around him. But all we've done is just taken Willian out of quality and put him into us and expecting him to
100%,
show up.
100%.
Yeah, no, that's the thinking. I mean, I always thought the big games, William was up for it. He was the consummate professional. He knew what it meant to play in the big games. But yeah, he does look lost in this team. He looks lost.
I
He
should
does
say, I
look
do
lost.
think he is better. Like, as I think all of the players, maybe come back to me on Laka, but I think almost of the players or certainly forward players, yeah, even Laka are better players than they're showing at the moment. I refuse to believe others after 10 seasons of banging 30 goals has just forgotten how to score goals. Like, it's clearly not the guy. But yeah, William, the sooner Pepe comes back, yeah, I think the better.
I don't even think you can rely on Pepe like that. You know,
Nah,
I'm not his
rely
number
on
one
definitely
fan.
not. Definitely
But
not.
you can't be saying, yeah, when Pepe comes back, like he's gonna be the difference, because I'm sorry, like, again, I don't want to go in on him because I've done plenty in the group, but you know, 72 million, that was wire fraud. I'm sorry, I say it with my
No, I
chest.
hear you. I
We
hear
got
you. I hear
done.
you.
We got
And I
done.
agree. I agree. We need some of them euros back ASAP. But the reason I say it's not coming from a place of I think Pepe is a lifesaver or he's even a particularly great player himself. I at least feel like there could be a potential threat sometimes, maybe at 77 minute. It may just swing onto his left peg and he may hit it crisply and it may hit the top corner. He's more capable
I
or
love the
likely.
maze.
Say that
No, I
again.
love the maze. No, I said I love the maze, and it may be this and it may
Yeah,
be
yeah,
that. I
no,
mean,
but it's true. It's all like I'm not saying this with confidence. I'm just saying from when I look at the two players and inspiring threats, or who do I feel like something's going to come from? Yeah, Pepe or Day, and that's not to say because he's a great player. That's just I just think he's just a lot more threatening than man like William.
like, one thing I will say though, lads, in terms of the whole creativity argument, we all know Gunners is a well thought out argument. There's nowhere near as much creativity. When Danny came on, to his credit, he did try his best to be creative. But what baffles me is where Mikel is now at this stage where the team is so blatantly, evidently struggling, and you have someone like Emil Smith Rowe who came on Europa. Okay, it wasn't for long, but he banged in a goal. He looks lively. He's young. He's gonna play carefree. You know, it's a derby. You know, this is what young players live for in terms of just wanting to go out there and play football and express themselves. Why did Emil Smith Rowe? Is he still injured? Why did he not even get into the subs bench? That baffled me. I know Willock was on there, but why did Emil Smith Rowe not even get a chance to just, you know, I believe in him.
I
I
hear you.
believe
I
he has
hear
a
you.
future at the club. And Mikel, this is where I can't defend Mikel certain times, because I feel like he's just too textbook. He's too vanilla. And, you know, it's not heeding the results.
But this is what I'm saying. Again, like, even with Arteta, even when how he speaks when he's talking about training or performances or this and that, I don't even buy into what he's talking about no more. I feel like he's just saying it just because he's now trying to become
Steph has gone rogue.
media savvy. I'm from, like, because after a while you have to you have to think to yourself and think, okay, yeah, training wise, yeah, if you perform well in training, you get to play. But when players are getting opportunities and you're watching them on match day week after week, we've got 4 wins in 11 matches. We've got 4 wins and 6 losses and 1 draw. Now you have to now just look at train. You can't look at training and think, yeah, they deserve to play. You have to look at match days and review them and think, you know what, To be fair, yeah. Even though you're looking good at training, when it comes to match days, you're not putting in the
You
same.
ain't doing a job. Exactly.
Yeah,
You ain't
like you.
delivering for me.
I mean, like he's not like. And when I'm seeing these guys, like when people are posting in Twitter like tweets, and these guys training and they've got a smile on their face, I'm vexed because I'm thinking, what the heck you man got something to smile about? Because I ain't. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's mad. It's
right.
absolutely mad. It's mad. Like we are seeing match after match in the Premier League of this team looking toothless. It's like a 90-year-old gran here, like trying to eat a burger or something. It's like literally toothless, and it's just painful. Like we have to continually endure this. And we all knew in our hearts of hearts, like we were all hoping for a draw, you know. We thought, yeah, if we can get a draw, we can just move on to a team that can help us build our confidence up. Like Burnley, you'd like to think Burnley at home, we can do a job on them. But then again, I don't even know, lads.
Listen,
Like,
Burnley are looking at us like we can do them a job on for them.
that's what I'm saying, bro. We're looking like easy work to every team now. We do not look in any way convincing. We're 15th, guys. Today, the second place team played the 15th team in North London. It's an absolute disgrace. This has happened now. Like
When
we
you
are
said that,
living
when you
this.
said that hit, that hurt me. That hurt me.
Yeah, man.
We took them first. With that 3 points, they went back to first. Tottenham Hotspurs, ladies and gentlemen. Tottenham Hotspurs. Tottenham first, top. What is going on here? This is absolutely unacceptable. Like unacceptable. And I like, Mikel, buck up your ideas, please, sir, because this is getting a little bit like, you know, like it's getting really, really concerning now. You know, it's
Yeah,
getting really concerning.
Sorry to jump in there. Talking about Mikel, you know how obviously we got Uber to like sign a new contract. What do you reckon? Do you reckon that was? Do you reckon Uber knew that Ozil wasn't going to be in the squad, or do you feel now he's now deflated because some of the players that he expected to be in the squad are now no longer in the squad?
Nah, I don't think we should overthink the Oba situation. Players go out of form, and I think it's one of those ones where you can see by the chances he had and how he reacted to the chances. The guy's he's just low on confidence. Like
He putting up Benteke forms, man. I mean,
but that's what I mean. That's how bad his confidence is. But the problem that we have with our team, there's nobody that can step up. And this is where Orba was such a figurehead, because he was putting the team on his back. And now he's off boil. Everybody else is looking really, you know, like I was speaking to some gooners a bit earlier, and one of them made a good point, and they said, we just need some magic like Martinelli. I'm just praying, Lord, let Martinelli come back. Let him be that exciting, electric player he was before, like the Chelsea game. You see how we drew that? That's what I was expecting for this game. Like, if not for Martinelli with the Chelsea game, we would have lost that. And with this sort of game, with a player like Martinelli, I 100% believe we could have got something out of this. I was going to say a result, but something out of this, a point at least, because you never know with the Premier League these days. It's like easy to get a pen. The pen's not hard, and then you just one goal behind, and then a bit of magic for Martinelli, you know, and then it's a draw. And I think a draw is what we should be aiming at, because we all know at the moment our team compared to Tottenham's team, well, I don't even want to say too much. But anyway, lads, let's just really try and wrap up here. I mean, we could moan and bitch all night, but the last point I wanted us to cover is really that news, you know, our little our confidential guy in N5 in the Arsenal Football Club establishment has hit us up on the side, and he told us that word on the street is we're going to have a director of football. And curious, I was chatting with some gooners, and some of them think it's mainly to do with the commercial side and getting the deals done, the right kind of deals and whatnot, since Fami, I forgot what his first name is, he left quite recently. But then, you know, some other gooners think it's sporting, and it's actually about helping Mikel do his job better and having a strategic role in the football as well. So all the pressure is not on Mikel. So, Nige, let's start with you first, mate. What do you think about this new hire? You think it's got any credence, and if so, what do you
Yeah,
think they're coming in
yeah,
to do?
definitely. It definitely holds some weight, and I imagine in the not too distant future, probably being New Year, early Jan, we'll probably hear who this director of football is. His role, I imagine, is probably no, it's still somewhat undefined. Yes, it's coming to take over the commercial aspect, but because of who we believe this person is, they come with a lot of footballing knowledge and experience. So I just can't see them not wanting to get involved in the footballing operational side as well as the commercial side. But how does that affect, or what does that say about the relationship between Edu and Mikel? Does it say much? Is it anything to read into, or is it just what's a like for like replacement? I think it's definitely too early to say at this stage.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. It's all TBC. Steph, do you have any thoughts on that? Is there anything you're looking for in particular, or what do you think about it?
To be honest, I don't really have no thoughts, to be honest, about it. Again, it depends on what his actual role is. Like, I obviously know he's going to be the director of football, but what his role actually entails. But hopefully, if it's overseeing Edu and bringing in better and more acquired talent, then I'm all for it. But if it's just for a big man in just to look good, then I'd say just don't bother, man.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, the good news is we're not that kind of club. I don't think we're going to be hiring anyone who's not going to be real value add in whichever type of role and area of the club that they're focused on, be it commercial or the sporting side. So yeah, I mean, we will wait with bated breath what the new year holds. We need something to reinvigorate this team. I am really, really concerned for Mikel now because he can't afford too many losses. 6 now in 11 games. That's terrible. Let's be honest, that's terrible. And, we've gone from gooners in our group talking about winning the league to being very silent about talking about the club at all. So, yeah, it's really, really, really very concerning times. But on that note, yeah, let's just try and put this behind us, gooners. It is what it is. We have Burnley. Let's just try and look assertive and do a job on Burnley like it's Europa. Please, lads. You cannot afford to even draw this. Mikel is now starting to be under a lot of pressure, and I want him to succeed. I'm sure I can speak for you guys as well. I know Steph is starting to pull out his long knife to off Mikel, but most gooners, we don't like to see a revolving door in our management kind of situation. We don't want to be one of those clubs. So anyway, on that note, has any of you guys got any final thoughts about this so-called North London derby today? Just end up closing us off with any final thoughts, lads.
Now I want to suppress it like I do all my other traumas.
I hear you. I hear you, man. That's the best thing to do, man. Bury it deep inside. Bury it deep inside. That's it, So, I was almost thinking about coming on here and flatly denying that we lost and just saying we won 4-0, but then
your reality is your perception, bruv.
there you go, just live in denial, but then we'll just be even more of a banter club. I'll be a spokesperson for banter for our club, and I don't want that at all. So, but gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure as always chewing the fat with you. Listeners, thank you for tuning in this very, very traumatic day of ours. You've been listening to the Arsenal Asylum podcast. I've been your host for this episode. My name is IO1886, aka Head Banterer in Charge. I love a little bit of banter, but not this kind of Tottenham banter, please. So please don't holler at me. But you can, please do like, subscribe, and follow us. You can catch us on at Arsenal Asylum on Twitter and at Arsenal Asylum Podcast on Instagram. Look out for our content. Thank you for the support. We really appreciate it. Hopefully that helps us get more content out that you like. Look out for some exciting things we're hoping to do later in this year and also in the new year, just to really put ourselves out there and you know, interact with our fellow Gooners and, you know, talk about the club we love even in tough times like this. So yes, I'm signing off for now. I've been IO1886. I've had with me today my two guys from the Arsenal Asylum, Naughty Nige and the so-called football messiah, Steph. You've been listening to the Arsenal Asylum podcast. Till next time, take care.
Yeah, peace out, peace.